In this video, we're going to be talking about functions and specifically a couple terms that go along with functions. Input, domain, output, range, relation, and function itself. This is a table you would typically see in a textbook or maybe even create for an actual canned food dry. Here we have homeroom, number of students in the homeroom, and the number of cans collected by those students. Within this table, we can actually see a relation between the number of students and the numbers of cans collected amongst those students. A relation is nothing more than just a set of ordered pairs. Let's take a look at how this data would be organized as ordered pairs. When the data is set up in a table such as this, it makes it very simple to create your ordered pairs. The first number will simply be the first number in the ordered pair, and the second number will be simply the second number. To organize our ordered pairs, we're going to use what's called braces, and this just indicates that all the ordered pairs in this set are a relation. So here are our braces on the end, and that's the only location where they'll go for this relation. And then the numbers in this first column are the first numbers in order as they appear. And then the numbers in the second column, or actually the third column here, go in as the second ordered pair. So 25 and 133, that's located here. 22, 216, located there, and so on. Using these same numbers, let's go ahead and flesh out some terms that you need to know as well. The first number of an ordered pair goes by actually a couple different names and identities. It can be known as the input, or what you'll need to know is it can also be referred to as the domain, and that's really the term that you're going to be exposed to the most from here on out. And domain actually has a stem associated with it, and that's DOM, and that's going to be from list 14. That means rule. Let's take a look at the second number in our ordered pair. This number is referred to as the output, or it can be referred to as the range. Now, some relations are actually functions, and that's a specific type of relation, and where the first number, the input, the domain, is paired exactly with one member of the output or the range. In order to determine whether we have a function, we'll go ahead and use what's called a mapping diagram. Here's a set of data we'll use. And within the textbook, the mapping diagram will actually have it labeled as input and output, but it can also be labeled as domain and range. To fill in our mapping diagram, all we need to do is simply list the domain values and the range values in order. I only have 3 sets of numbers on this side because one is shared by 2 of the ordered pair, so I've only listed it once, while our range we have 4 sets of data because we have 4 unique sets of values for each of those ordered pairs. The next step is simply to draw arrows from the domain values to their range values. As you can see, there are 2 range values for the domain value 1, so this relation is not a function. Looking at a second example, first we'll go ahead and do our mapping first. So we'll list all the domains, and then we will list the ranges. Notice for this one there are only 3 sets of numbers for our range. And then the next step is just to simply draw arrows from the domain to its range. And as you can see, there is only one range value for each domain value, so this relation is a function. Here's one final example. First we'll list all the domains, and then we'll list the ranges. And then next we'll draw arrows from the domain values to their range values. Now, although we have some unusual crisscrossing of the arrows here for our mapping, this is still a function because there is one range value for each domain value. So therefore, it fits the criteria of being a function. So a few things to remember. Input is the same thing as domain, output is the same thing as range, and relations are functions if each member of the domain is paired with exactly one member of the range.